Carell.
I'm Marta Carell.
And oh, do we have some chaos in the house today. Today's Adam Schiff's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
So to celebrate, we're going to listen to his epic speech
and
on the House floor.
How did they repay him on his birthday?
The badge,
what did they give him?
Badge of honor.
A censure.
Badge
he
of
has
honor.
to present himself in the well.
Yeah, we waited for that
for
clip.
Censure.
We waited for that clip to happen forever, and they just kept booing McCarthy the whole time. They never got to the point where they actually had him stand in the well and get censured.
Is he supposed to like bend over while he's standing in the well?
That is a question you would ask.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they've done it in the past, but I don't remember anybody like presenting themselves in the well for censure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, maybe I didn't pay enough attention to it.
I know we didn't pay enough. I definitely, I've been involved with the news for a long time, but I've never paid attention to all the players as much as I am now. Like, I barely knew who the speaker was from one year to the next.
So today's episode will probably be a little longer than usual because even just Schiff's speech, we got to hear the whole thing. Don't you even start, dog.
Don't you start.
Don't you start, dog. Yes, chaos in the studio too. All right, so we want to hear Schiff.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Adam Schiff.
Happy birthday, Adam Schiff.
And I hope you like your present.
No. Bad present.
Let's see, Schiff delivering his floor speech.
Colleagues who introduced this resolution, I thank you. You honor me with your enmity. You flatter me with this falsehood. You who are the authors of a big lie about the last election must condemn the truth tellers, and I stand proudly before you. Your words tell me that I have been effective in the defense of our democracy, and I am grateful. And yet this false and defamatory resolution comes at a considerable cost to the country and to the Congress. At a moment when millions of people in our home state of California are unable to find a place to live or afford a place to live, Speaker McCarthy chooses to occupy the resources of Congress for 2 straight weeks on this hollow sop to the MAGA crowd. He offers nothing to those who are homeless or addicted to opioids or to millions of college students mired in debt, but this paltry distraction. Donald Trump is under indictment for actions that jeopardize our national security, and McCarthy would spend the nation's time on petty political payback, thinking he can censure or fine Trump's opposition into submission. But I will not yield, not 1 inch. The cost to the Speaker's delinquency is high, but the cost to Congress of this frivolous and yet dangerous resolution may be even higher, as it represents another serious abuse of power. Donald Trump has threatened that any of you that defy him and vote against this partisan resolution will be met by a primary challenge. And he calls for my imprisonment. If a transient majority can punish and attempt to silence members who hold a corrupt president to account, there is no telling what further corruption of office will follow. And I say this to Speaker McCarthy and others who wish to gratify Donald Trump with this act of subservience or bend to his demands. Try as you might to expel me from Congress or silence me with a $16 million fine, you will not succeed. You might as well make it $160 million. You will never deter me from doing my duty. No matter how many false justifications or slanders you level against me, you but indict yourselves. As Liz Cheney said, there will come a day when Donald Trump is gone, but your dishonor will remain. This resolution attacks me for initiating an investigation into Trump campaign solicitation and acceptance of Russian help in the 2016 election, even though the investigation was first led not by me, but by a Republican chairman. It would hold that when you give internal campaign polling data and your polling data to a Russian intelligence operative, while Russian intelligence is helping your campaign, as Trump's campaign chairman did, that you must not call that collusion, though that is its proper name, as the country well knows. It would fine me for the costs of the investigation into Trump's misconduct, even though the special counsel was appointed by Trump's own attorney general. It would reprimand me over a flawed FISA application as if I were its author or I was the director of the FBI, and over flaws only discovered years later and by the Inspector General, not Mr. Durham. In short, it would accuse me of omnipotence, the leader of some vast deep state conspiracy, and of course, it is nonsense. But here is the real gravamen of my offense. I led the first impeachment of Donald Trump for one of the most egregious presidential abuses of power in our history. And I led a trial which resulted in the first bipartisan vote to remove a president in history. And I would do so again. I warned that if Trump was not held accountable, he would go on to try to cheat in even worse ways in the next election, and he did, inciting a violent attack on this very Capitol. And after that, I participated in some of the most important hearings in congressional history, hearings that exposed Donald Trump's incitement of a dangerous insurrection to prevent the peaceful transfer of power. My colleagues, if there is cause for censure in this House, and there is, it should be directed at those in this body who sought to overturn a free and fair election.
Amen.
The question, my Republican colleagues, is not why am I the subject of this false resolution for doing my constitutional duty, but why are you not? Why are you not standing beside me, the subject of a similar rebuke for speaking the truth? Why did you not stand up to Donald Trump? Why did you not reject his immorality? Why did you not condemn his dishonesty? Why did you not speak out when his horde attacked this Capitol, or now when he treats the nation's secrets with such carelessness, lawlessness, and disdain? Why did you hide from efforts to hold him accountable? Why were you silent, afraid, unwilling to do your ethical, constitutional duty? Why did you cower? Why did you cower? And why do you still? Will it be said of you that you lack the courage to stand up to the most immoral, unlawful, and unethical president in history, but consoled yourselves by attacking those who did? Today, I wear this partisan vote as a badge of honor, knowing that I have lived my oath, knowing that I have done my duty to hold a dangerous and out-of-control president accountable, and knowing that I would do so again in a heartbeat if the circumstances should ever require it. I thank you, and I yield back.
Wow.
So
Wow.
he pretty much explained everything,
Yeah.
like why they were going after him and what he did.
Mm-hmm. Well, and they think they could just make all this go away. And so now we don't have a clip on this one. I haven't heard Legal AF's take on it yet, but they want to expunge Trump's record of impeachments. Now, from my take on the law, an expungement happens after a conviction. And since he wasn't convicted in the Senate, I don't even know if that's a thing.
So it's Marjorie Taylor Greene and Elise Stefanik who are working on it.
Mm-hmm.
And as I understand it, Marjorie Taylor Greene is working on the first impeachment, with the perfect phone call that he keeps talking about.
Yeah.
And then Stefanik is working on the election stuff.
Yeah.
The insurrection stuff.
Expungement's something you do with a child. Somebody under 18, their record gets expunged, so you can't see it, and nobody ever knows whatever happened. We're never going to not know what happened.
We're not going to forget about it.
This is not going to go away because they're playing their little games. And the time wasted. And McGovern's going to have a lot to say about that in the next clip. They've just been wasting time. And he talks about these signaling bills, I think they're calling them.
I think they're
messaging bills. Like they're not expected to go anywhere.
It doesn't do anything. They're not expecting it to win, but it like sends the message across. Yeah. Basically.
Kind of like the messaging of getting Zelensky to investigate Trump's opponent in the election.
Which apparently they're not okay with when they accuse somebody else of doing it.
Absolutely. So let's see. We got Oh yeah, next one. What is it? Bober gets quoted. Yes.
The press, we see that members of the Freedom Caucus are saying they have this deal on power sharing. I'm not quite sure what that means, and power sharing with the Speaker and the extreme right wing. Is that the deal? And then we hear from the Speaker that there's no deal on anything. So I don't know what the truth is, and maybe my friend can enlighten us at some point what the truth is. But my Republicans friends like to say that this place should be run like a business. Well, if they really believe that, then this place should be out of business, because this is not the way Congress should be run. This is not the way you run a democracy. This is ridiculous. You know, Democrats have worked tirelessly to try to lower costs for people, bring jobs back from China, rebuild our country, fight pollution, and keep our community safe. And Republicans, what do they stand for? Well, forgive me if I say I'm not entirely sure, because right now the only thing I have seen so far since they took over is dysfunction and disarray. Republicans began this Congress by wasting a week fighting with each other about who would be Speaker. Now we're 5 months in, and they have enacted 5 laws, 1 a month. Boy, what an achievement. Even Democrats and President Trump were able to enact 21 laws at this point. And now the far-right fringe of the Republican Party, the same fringe that demanded Speaker McCarthy give them all of his power, has succeeded in even dictating to him what bills he can and can't bring to the House floor. This is important, and I want the American people to understand who is in charge here right now.
Yeah.
It's not the Speaker of the House, it's not Kevin McCarthy, it's the far right of the far right. I mean, we have sitting members of the Republican conference right now openly advocating for civil war. These are the people calling the shots. Are you kidding me? In what world should the 11 most extreme people in the Republican Party get to dictate the entire agenda of a legislative body that represents 332 million people?
Yeah.
So I wanted to say
Yeah.
what I don't know who that is. You didn't
That's
introduce
McGovern.
it. Okay. So I was thinking about the person who put forth this motion to censor Adam Schiff.
Whoa. That shouldn't have happened. Sorry about that. I don't even know if they heard that.
Her name is Anna Paulina Luna. She's brand new. She's the one who put it out there. And what I found out, well, everybody was saying that normally, like, they were surprised that Kevin McCarthy even put it on the floor out for a vote. And I guess she was one of the original, I think, 20 people who voted against McCarthy to be Speaker. And then they made some sort of deal and they agreed to vote for him. And I think that was one of the things, even though she's brand new, whatever she wants to put out on the floor for vote, I guess he's got to do it.
Mm-hmm. And what about these cowards? At some point, when you get bullied, you eventually stand up to the bully. You got Trump threatening them. Anybody that votes against this should get turned, what was it? Primaried, yeah. And so they all fall in line. The guy's losing power all day long, except with his extreme base. Polling's out there. It's not going well. And stealing government documents doesn't seem to be boosting his poll numbers as other indictments seem to have done. So, got more to say on that, or are we going to do our last clip? This one's funny.
Which one is that?
The Boebert MTG thing.
Yeah. Well, I was just wondering, maybe we should tell folks what primaried is and why they don't want to do it. So primaried means, so let's say you're a Republican and you vote for something that other Republicans don't like. So come election time, they have another Republican running against you in the primary, and then they all, are going to push for that other person so that you can no longer run for re-election. That's what getting primaried means, and nobody wants that to happen to them.
They all want to run against nobody.
Yeah, they do. They want to run unopposed.
All right. So let's see. Boebert put out her impeachment, another impeachment on Biden, and apparently MTG was jealous, and they had issues on the floor. And this particular clip is narrated. It's pretty fun to watch. I grab your popcorn. Boom.
Take your conversations to the back. Off the floor.
The House parliamentarian tried to restore order, but Republicans Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert kept on fighting. And according to the Daily Beast, Marjorie Taylor Greene called Lauren Boebert a little bitch on the House floor.
Order, please.
Eyewitnesses reported the full dialogue included this. Boebert, I don't like the statements you've made about me publicly. Greene, well, you copied my articles of impeachment. Boebert, I haven't even read your impeachment resolution. Greene, I've donated to you, I've defended you, but you've been nothing but a little bitch to me, and you copied my articles of impeachment after I asked you to co-sponsor them. Boebert, okay, Marjorie, we are through. Greene, Lauren, we were never together. I know, my dumb Georgia accent is terrible.
I didn't think it was that bad, but it was cool to have somebody like narrate it.
So this happened yesterday, and
Yep.
we played. Well, we wanted to play when Lauren Boebert was talking
we had
about it, but
audio issues.
we had audio issues, so we tried to play it. So this is the blowback from that.
And
Marjorie got pissed because Lauren got further
Yeah.
on the articles of impeachment in relation to Biden than she's gotten in like 2 years.
And I'd rather listen to that guy and his bad accent than either one of their shrill voices. So, it was bad that we had audio problems, but I really didn't want to listen to Boebert do her impeachment thing. So all of this to distract from the fact that their boy was stealing documents. And we're probably going to find out he was a spy for several countries around the world. And with his harping on China, it's going to be really funny if we find out that he sold some of those documents to China, but he probably did.
We know he paid his taxes to China.
Yep. All right. Well, that's the longest broadcast yet. Anything else, maybe?
Nope.
All right. Thank you for tuning in to the WTH News Network. Please like, subscribe, and hit the little bell thing. We'll see you next time.